The streets of Buñol are quiet in the early morning light, but there's electricity in the air. Shopkeepers tape plastic sheeting over their windows, and residents secure their balconies. In just a few hours, this sleepy Spanish town will transform into the world's biggest food fight, where more than 40,000 people will paint the town red with tomatoes. The origin of La Tomatina traces back to 1945, when a group of young people started a playful brawl during a local parade. They grabbed tomatoes from a nearby vegetable stand and began hurling them at each other. What started as spontaneous mischief grew into an annual tradition, and now, on the last Wednesday of August, Buñol becomes ground zero for the world's most famous tomato fight. By mid-morning, the narrow streets are packed shoulder to shoulder with revelers from across the globe. They wear white shirts, soon to be stained red, and safety goggles to protect their eyes from the acidic juice. The air buzzes with anticipation as trucks loaded with overripe tomatoes inch their way through the crowd. Then comes the moment everyone's waiting for. The loud boom of a water cannon echoes through the streets and chaos erupts. 6 trucks dump 150,000 tomatoes into the waiting crowd. The fruit, specially grown for the festival and slightly past its prime, explodes on impact, covering everything in pulpy red debris. For 1 hour, the streets of Buñol become a war zone of flying tomatoes. Strangers become allies and enemies in this good-natured battle. The juice flows ankle-deep through the streets, and the air fills with the sweet-sour smell of crushed tomatoes. Laughter and shouts echo off the buildings as participants wade through the Red River. Armed with ammunition, they scoop from the ground. When the second cannon sounds, the throwing stops as quickly as it began. Fire trucks arrive to hose down the streets, and participants help clean the tomato-stained walls. The town's ancient streets, originally paved with stone, shine cleaner than before, the acidity of the tomatoes acting as a natural disinfectant. As the sun sets over Buñol, the last traces of red wash away down the drains. Participants, exhausted but grinning, swap stories in local cafes. Their white clothes are permanently stained, but they've earned these badges of honor. They've taken part in La Tomatina, where for 1 glorious hour, adults can play like children, and a tiny Spanish town reminds the world that sometimes the best traditions start with a simple act of joyful rebellion.